So first training done and dusted for the boys right there in the South African camp, and of course we saw a really packed Super Eagles training session with up to 18 players accounted for at this point. The last person to show up was Benjamin Frederick, who joined late this evening. I'm not sure if he was part of the guys that actually trained today, but it's just good to see him back this first day of training, because obviously we know that we are lacking a lot of bodies in this defensive area. He's someone that we are looking up to, with high expectation that Coach Eric Chelle will use him to play the two or the right back position because of the natural right backs pulling out due to injury. So that's what it is. But at this point, we have up to like 4 players who are still unaccounted for. The likes of Zedu Senusi coming from Porto. He plays for FC Porto. And then talk about Alhassan Yusuf from New England Revolution in the USA. Ako Adams from Sevilla, Spain. And then Olakunle Olusegun coming from Russia. He currently plays for a club called Paris Nizhny Novgorod. So these guys are expected tomorrow, if they are not already in camp or if they are not already somewhere in South Africa. But at least, or at most, we expect to see them tomorrow, and hopefully they'll take part in the second training session, which is expected to be the most intense one, where Coach Eric Chelle will most likely will be experimenting on the plans and formation for the game against Lesotho on Friday. So that's what's happening right now in the camp of the Super Eagles. Of course, I'll be attaching a couple of videos that I've seen from Naijafoottv and of course some of the social handles of these players, just to show you how the camp vibe is going right now at the moment. But guys, I just want to talk a little bit about the under 20 national team. Of course, they are preparing to play their knockout stage game against Argentina. That game is coming up tomorrow, being Wednesday, and of course it's a very, very important game where they would have to get a victory no matter what. They'll have to be able to convert their chances, because they've been hitting the post, in their previous games. But hearing some reaction from the coach of the side, Coach Ali Uzuberu, ahead of this game, he said that it's going to be difficult, because of course it's Argentina. It doesn't matter whether it's a senior team or the 8th grade that you're playing. Argentina is always a strong side to play against. So he knows that, and he says that it's going to be a very difficult task. But he also says that the boys are hungry. They know their target. They know what they want to do, and they know what they have to do on Wednesday to try and get the victory. It won't be the first time if we end up winning Argentina, because back in 2023 we actually defeated them in the knockout stages of this same under 20 category. But the very famous one, which was the set of Mikel Obi and Lionel Messi back in 2005, that was when they actually defeated us in the final. So, but the coach is filled with high spirit, as well as the boys, and he's come out now to say this in his word. He said, we are not afraid of Argentina. It won't be an easy game, but this team has heart, hunger, and belief. We'll give everything to make Nigeria proud. We want to surpass that legacy. Our objective hasn't changed. Each game matters, but our vision is to go all the way. The players are aware and they are motivated. So that's what Coach Ali Uzuberu has said. Of course, the boys have now traveled into the city where they'll be playing the match against Argentina. It's the city of Santiago in Chile. So wish them all the best, guys. Of course, it's going to be a cracker, and the time for that one is also very, very nice, because it's 8 p.m. in the evening, 8 p.m. or 8:30 thereabouts. I'll confirm and let you guys know. But let's move past that one, guys, and talk about something that is kind of hanging in the air right now is about Coach Eric Shell's contract. Of course, if you follow the channel, previously I've talked about this subject being something that has been debated in recent times, whether it's Coach Eric Shell is going to get the sack or not. But I just wanted to give a little bit of clarity about it. Of course, when NFF employed Coach Eric Shell, they actually gave him a short contract, and that contract, based on what was said by NFF official, is that he was going to be in charge of the Super Eagles for the for the duration of the World Cup qualification uh, tournament. So technically, his contract is due to expire this October with the finishing of the last game against Lesotho. That was the contract. That was the term of the contract. But then also in the term, it was said that if he is able to qualify the Super Eagles to the World Cup, then it's going to trigger an automatic renewal of I think 2 years, 2 years or thereabout, of the contract. So that's basically the contract with Coach Eric Shell. So it's very likely that Coach Eric Shell might not be the coach of the Super Eagles at the end of this current month, October, if he fails to qualify. If he fails to win these two games and qualify Nigeria. Of course, winning the two games isn't a guarantee that he's going to qualify, because we know a lot of things will also come into place, such as the result from South African side, result from Benin Republic, and also the playoff situation. But as it stands, Coach Eric Shell is in danger of being relieved of his contract. But I don't think we are going to call that a sack if at the end of October he's no longer there. I think it will basically just be, that his contract ended and then he's being relieved of the duty and then allowed to go, and then the job is given to someone else. But here is some of the rumors coming out right now. From I've seen it in Vanguard and a couple of other, media. They're actually saying that Coach Eric Shell will very likely not be in charge of the Super Eagles for the month of November, when we'll be playing our two friendlies in the USA against Colombia and against Venezuela. They're saying that Eguavoen is going to be the man that NFF will go back to and employ as the permanent coach. This is basically what's flying around right now, in the media. But again, uh, it's still left to be seen for Coach Eric Shaw. I'm sure when he took the job, he knows that it's not going to be a permanent job. It's not going to be a job that he will stay in forever. Of course, it's a very difficult job coaching the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So I mean, it's something that he already signed up for, knowing that if you don't get the result, then obviously you will get replaced. Even if you get the result, but if the result is not as good as the country deserves or as good as your employers want, then obviously you're still going to have a problem. But we'll see what happens. There's still a lot of uh, things to happen. These two games could very well make or mar the coach. So if he wins it and qualifies, he will get an automatic extension. But if he doesn't win them, or if he wins them and doesn't qualify, then he'll probably be let go. But that's what's happening right now. Thanks for watching. Leave your reaction for any of these stories and stay tuned for more videos.